But then you can work up my sound for me, right?
Yeah, man. I got this.
Oh, Jesus. I'm just worrying about everything.
All right, so we live. I can put on these little clippies there for Facebook. Yeah, they're for Facebook.
Okay.
So they can hear you.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that one for Facebook.
You know what? You special.
I need a break.
You special.
These the Facebook mics and these the actual podcast mics.
I
Yeah,
need a break for true.
that's what I have to do when the internet ain't strong. Unfortunately. All right, let me open Adobe. So the video up, y'all can share it if you want.
Okay, how do we do
Are
that?
people looking at us now?
Yep.
Teach
Real?
me.
Yep.
What do I do?
Right on. You like under the right page, right?
Uh-huh.
Once you go to the page, you should see the video, and then you can share it.
Okay. I learn it.
Shouldn't they just go now? Eh?
Huh?
Nobody can see me.
Yeah, they can see you. Everybody
What
can see you.
else?
They can see you and hear you. Yeah, we ain't started yet. You can take the call.
Oh,
They
hey,
don't
Shy.
mind.
I was just wondering if I could take this call. What you saying? You alright?
Cool, there.
I probably butt dial you. Whatever they call butt dial or leg dial or some shit that. Probably got a stiffy in my fingers or my pocket. You alright?
I can't take it, Lord.
Okay. Alright, you go?
So you going on thing up tomorrow?
On what?
Yeah, you going on LinkedIn tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I gotta sell this show, man.
Yeah. Alright, sorry about that. I didn't know you called you.
I gotta let them know you can't shut me up, and I just take it. They expect to like stomp you in your spine, and you must just lay down and go thanks.
That's how they go. Because people always just lay down. They used to people laying
But
down.
that's what I was about
Chrissy
to
Love
tell
ain't doing no mannequin
that's-
challenge.
Jesus. You see the news like mannequin challenge? Oh, no, I shouldn't be showing you all these things.
Let me see.
Let me show you.
I see the one with Black China giving babe birth,
What?
and she doing the
Did
mannequin
Jackie
challenge.
actually got beat at the
I hear someone say something about
yeah,
a fight.
There's a video
There's a
on
fight
that.
happened for true?
What's wrong with
What?
us?
Video on that. The other man
How?
catching with his wife or something.
Where?
Was he at the concert?
At the concert? Oh, Lord, man.
No, I
So
see
why
them
is
at
under the
airport or
rug a
something.
closed group?
Keep it close.
Keep your leg closed though. Oh no, that's another.
I couldn't believe that when I heard that. Okay, we good to go.
Okay,
Mic's on.
Also, don't show y'all this.
with a video.
You can show it. Let me share. Yeah, you can share it. Let me share it. Let me share it. in the
I don't
meantime.
see what am I
You
doing?
ain't see it?
You know what? That's
Oh, wait,
ridiculous.
this is a mannequin challenge?
That's, you know what? People need to stop
Who
that.
think him that is?
Threesome.
People just like the boundaries. Where are the boundaries?
Wow.
How are the boundaries? And
So
not
one
the.
on the back and one on the front.
I just.
Jeez.
What I missing? Maybe I'm just too corny. I think it's me. I'm just too corny. Because I don't get it.
Face.
I don't get it.
People ain't got nothing to do, boy.
I noticed that she the one who all naked but all unclothed. Just the objectification of women, and they allow it. They allow it. Scary.
Well, hey, that's what they want to do, buddy.
I
I ain't guessing they would.
maybe it's me. I just don't get it.
It's a good thing.
You know what I never understood?
Oh, wait, you saw it on Facebook or someone sent it on
Someone says
WhatsApp?
on WhatsApp.
Oh.
You know what I never got, never did. Never.
What's that?
I don't understand how heterosexual men.
I see it on the page, yeah. Refresh the spine, Chrissy. Because I see it on
Just
my
drag
computer.
it down.
feel it
Oh, you know what? Let me tag you in it.
and it all
I
comfortable.
mean, they tag you.
I did. I shared it on my
I can tag you in a comment to make sure.
under the rug. We'll let you know when your post is
Oh,
ready.
you find it?
No, I'm just.
All right, I
see, my
tag you in a comment.
internet is a little slow here. You did tag me in a comment.
I tag you again.
Oh,
It
okay.
show up just now?
I can see right now. Yes, hello. Don't be giving these people no free ad. They don't advertise. Yeah, put that on the floor,
Take it
boo.
off, eh?
Oh, take it off, yeah.
Yeah. What is it? This your ghost move on it?
This is my Bahamas
Because you always
phone.
had 17 phones, even when they were bricks.
This is
Yeah,
my
I got the
Bahamas
phone,
phone.
man.
Remember that brick? Remember when I had my brick?
All right, let me share this now.
They don't sponsor our show.
Well, I can share it on my thing, so I guess if you
Okay.
go in there, you can probably see it too.
Greg, this is your water.
Everybody parents dying, man.
Who all dead?
At least 4 or 5 people. Somebody at me just gone like that, eh?
Wait till I tell you the news story of my mother.
Oh,
I ain't telling everybody because it's shameful.
oh boy.
Yeah, I hope you're ready.
Well, I don't
You've been
think-
hearing my shrinkage.
I was gonna say, I
For how
don't think
long?
ain't much could surprise me now.
Okay, thank you. I hope you're ready for this one. Since I lose my job, you think she got me? Yeah?
Oh, no, man.
No, I don't believe that.
Stop that, man. I don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
And why she tell everybody at the house that her husband molested me?
I don't
Wow.
And I had to tell all them fuck all.
Wow.
Each one of them. Ooh.
Oh, give me
That's why
chills
this is my
just now.
time. That's why I think, I'm hurt and I'm scared and I'm everything. But I can make it.
Yeah, man.
Where they ain't got you?
All right.
Oh,
What
wow.
you have to say about it?
Wendy left home. Wendy's like, and then she up with her new boyfriend who son teeth for $12,000.
Oh, Lord.
Again?
Hey. All right. We got a reading. We're good to go.
Okay.
All right, let me
All right.
set up the video to
That's
see
a
your
row.
pretty faces.
That is some rum.
Well, yeah, nothing. I see nothing.
Let me record this.
You know, you go.
Gregory Collie
All right,
tagged you in a
babe.
post.
Yeah, all right. You see it now, right?
Let me see. I can see right now.
All right. So, yeah, you could share that one.
Okay. I already shared the one about.
All right, cool. All right, welcome back Under the Rug. And yes, people, we are still here. I know many of you thought after the election of Donald J. Trump as president, a nuclear bomb would have dropped immediately and the world would be destroyed. At least that's how it looks on Facebook when I see the comments and reactions to President-elect Donald Trump being elected. I see people acting as though the world has ended immediately as we know it.
Hey, Gregory, you stop that.
I mean, that's what I see.
It hasn't?
Let me stop you at the intro.
It hasn't.
That's what I see, man, Greg.
Let me stop you at the intro.
Well, let me introduce you all so you can chime in, because it seems as though you want to at least contest what I said earlier. So we have Kirkland Pratt, who's been on before, and we also have, for the first time, the marvelous, the wonderful, the intelligent, the superstar, Chrissy Love. Welcome Under the Rug, Chrissy, for the first time. I've been on your show many times, but this is the first time you're on this podcast.
Well, thank
and
you.
I want to give you a grand welcome to the show.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes,
it's
yes,
good to be here.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
I love Under the Rug. I love Entrepreneur. I love all the things you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
I value your brain.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
True thing,
I
true thing.
appreciate that. Now, Kirk, what you have an issue with something that I said
Oh, I'm
earlier?
still here. After the intro,
I thought you was gone.
yeah.
What was wrong with what I said? Because on my timeline, the reactions that I saw to Donald Trump being elected were as though it was the Armageddon. The world is going to be done. It is finished. It is a wrap. And I thought it was going to be nuclear bombs dropping immediately.
I'm not sure that anybody actually thought that Armageddon would be enacted, but Donald Trump proper is the equivalent of all of the aforesaid, and so I'm not sure that we were looking for bombs and waiting to hear the shock and awe and whatnot. But this man on a human level, in my head, represents the equivalent of human scum, and I'll say why. And I don't usually get to saying this often about people.
Okay.
I don't, and I'm certainly not a race baiter, as it was. So I just wanna put that in, just right away. Let me just go with that disclaimer. But for what it's worth, and for what has been said, and what we've already seen, what days into this presidency, the Donald Trump that was on the campaign trail apparently has morphed into a more sensible Donald Trump.
Look at Chrissy. Look.
And then I'll say this, truth
I
is,
need his TV.
truth is truth. I mean, he is what he is, what he represents. I'm
A
going to try
bigoted,
to. I'm going to
misogynistic
try. He's still
asshole.
that.
Oh, sorry.
He's still that. He's still
Excuse
that.
me.
Yeah.
Pardon
But
me.
a lot of his sympathizers and apologists and people who support him say that he said what he had to say to get into the White House.
So he's an actor who lies to get ahead.
So
That's
my
the
thing
politician you
is,
just described.
well, my thing is, yeah, but with the material that he came out swinging with, that in my mind that makes him more dangerous than a white supremacist.
He is a white supremacist.
Well, we know that. But what I'm saying that makes him more dangerous than a Ku Klux Klan endorsee. That makes him more dangerous than a racist. Because if you're going to willfully appeal to the darker and lesser angels of people for political expediency, that's dark.
Well, here's the thing. Well, Chrissy, what's your take on it? Let me
Well,
get your
again, my
on it.
take is the take of any black person who knows the history of America, who knows the history of people of color in the world. Donald Trump is a racist, bigot, misogynist, buttwad. And the fact that America sides with him shows me America's true past. You see, one of the things America does, and believe me, this part of me is a proud American, this half. America tends to forget its dark history. America has always been divisive. America has treated black people like total hell. And when we see a Donald Trump come up and speak to all of that, because I personally, and again, maybe because of where I am in the world, I can't feel sorry for the poor, privileged white males of America. I just don't have compassion. So I think him being elected is going to be a pox on the world. As a person of color, I'm afraid. I was just telling my son the other day, who was in a red state, please, when you run, make sure you have your hoodie down and have your tennis racket in visible sight. Because let's keep it real, white supremacy has won.
The broadside of the racket.
White supremacy won on November 8th.
Yeah, certainly. The broadside of the racket.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. I love when Greg says that.
Yes. See, and here's my take on it. I've been telling people I really don't care because I really don't.
Well, we live here,
And-
so we don't care, but...
I mean, and even outside, even if I was in the U.S., I wouldn't care.
Really?
Yeah, and here's why. And I've been telling people, I wasn't fearing Donald Trump being elected for these reasons. In my view, the president doesn't run the United States anyway.
True.
He's not going to be in charge. And I don't think that the actual people that run the country, these major corporations that buy the politicians anyway, are going to allow Donald Trump to destroy everything that they've built. Everything that they've worked so hard for and spent so much money to build, they're not going to allow Donald Trump to just come in and destroy that. Trust me. And Donald Trump is going to, you see, like Kirk said, he sounds like a completely different person now.
Well,
Yeah, because he's
the Obamacare
chosen, the
thing, he sounded
Obamacare.
different.
So
And
pretty
the
much
same-
2/3 he said that he will maintain.
Here's why. Donald Trump knows that there are people richer and more powerful than he is. Trust me, he knows. He knows who to listen to. He knows who to follow. This, to me, I don't even think he thought he was going to win.
Of
No, he
course
didn't,
not.
he didn't think
I
was
think
right.
he just went in just to do it, and he's even surprised. And I look at when he had the meeting with Barack Obama, and he still looked shocked.
Yeah.
He is shocked.
He
First
is
of all,
shocked.
you were sitting down with a man who you accused of being the most vile human being, who wasn't even an American,
You
who
began the
wasn't
birth of
born
movement.
here.
But this is why, and I told someone this yesterday, and I said, Donald Trump showed me that he is indeed a politician, because he did exactly what politicians do.
What, lie and pretend?
Yes, you lie throughout the campaign trail, and then you switch after you have won. That's what all politicians do, and they
Sad.
speak illy about the competitors and the other side. And then they are buddy with them at the end of the day.
But, you know,
so it's
my-
WWE wrestling to me. That's all it is.
My-
He is a politician.
My whole thing is that again, when you're able to intentionally tap into people's lesser angels, because truly
Fear, hatred,
I would
bigotry.
imagine half of the population needs to be educated on issues and policies. And
Donald Trump don't know the policies.
that's what I'm trying to say, and that's clear. That's clear. His declarations, we make a big deal here about who makes declarations.
Where's
and
his
who's
tax
not.
forms?
We don't have. I mean, your tax declarations. That's pretty much a blueprint into your character, and that has not even been revealed by Trump, and neither was it really demanded of the populace. The media got Trump to win. Hillary got Trump to win. Everybody got Trump to win. At the end of the day, hate and indifference and the fear component is what has minted America's new president.
Well, let's get to what I came here to speak about. Because that was just a little piece of that's the big news, and this is the first episode since that happened, so we just wanted to touch on that a little bit. But here's what it really came to talk about. Now, I've been hearing in the aftermath of this situation, and this is not the first time. This comes about during election times. I hear people blaming and denigrating people for either not voting or voting for a particular candidate. So I ask myself, do we really want democracy? Because it seems as though we only want democracy when our side wins.
Well,
And what was upsetting me is I've heard many personalities just speak illy about people that don't vote. Like, this is your right. You're supposed to go there and exercise that right. People have fought for that right for you to have. You need to go there and exercise that right to vote. And I don't necessarily support that position.
I don't subscribe to that.
I think you have a right to not vote just as you have the right to vote. And if you feel as though none of the candidates that are in front of you represent what you would want for your country, then you shouldn't have to vote for them. But it doesn't seem as though other people share that view, and they continue to bash people that don't vote. So my issue is with people that do that, people that bash people that don't vote. What are what's your take on it, Kirk? How do you feel about the people that don't vote?
Go ahead, Chrissy.
no,
Okay,
you go
go.
first.
Yeah, okay. You have a daughter, right?
Yes.
All right, a young daughter. How old is she?
4.
Okay, 4. That's quick. You've given an option, right? Take your bath 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, but you have to take your bath, right? Is that a choice?
No, but that's the thing.
She's
Not taking a bath is not an option for her.
Wait, exactly.
But not voting is an option for
No,
me.
some people taking a bath is optional.
But right, well, that's another thing for sure. But no, my thing is this. My thing is this, and I guess it all depends. And I think it goes back to really who you are spiritually, right? Anything that I endorse, anything that I support, anything that I speak to, anything that I embrace has to be something that resonates with me, really, at a spiritual level. I have to be able to fully defend it, speak to it, see myself in it, right? I'm not saying that it has to be doesn't have to be perfect, but I have to at least see myself living in it, right? Let's take, for instance, our options in this next election. I mean,
Must we?
Let's talk about it.
We have
Let's go.
several other splinters, right?
Right.
But the main parties are the F&M and the PLP, right?
God help us.
For what's it worth, right? And just as Chrissy said, God help us, is where I'm at, right? I think I came to my last, it died for me this year. It died. Oh yeah, it died for me this
What's
year.
the it?
Yeah, what's the that died?
The it was I wouldn't call it hope, but the
point of voting?
The point of voting and my need to necessitate it and pull at the strings of my ancestors who fought and
Right.
And I'm not discounting that has its place in the dialogue. But at the end of the day, truly, when I examine where we're at, when I saw and I'm not a bitter anybody supporter, but when I saw how the F&M managed its affairs at the convention, when I saw how they initiated their structure or their restructuring, right? The PLP is just a lost cause altogether. Unfortunately.
How do you really feel,
A
Kurt?
company, I mean,
holding back.
a party that's so rich in history and could really find itself embossed really in the minds and hearts of Bahamians has just completely screwed it all up. The propensity and there's just close association with just outright corruption is something that I could never endorse and speak to. A man in the person of Mr. Alfred Sayers, for what it's worth, represents any number of things. But
And look what they're doing to him.
right, you see what I'm trying to say? Right, and in my mind, I always know, and I continue to believe that as a collective, and I have to be careful not to speak in broad, sweeping terms, but as a collective, we are fascinated with pirates. It seems like goodness is an abstract notion, eh? But back to my point. My options this time around is the PLP and the F&M.
What about the DNA, man? Why are you leaving them okay?
Okay, call it the DNA. All right, those are my options. Right.
Right.
I see no part of me in it. I see no part for the future of your daughter because we could be all in grade soon, right? I see no future. I see no plan. I see no policy positions. I see no.
But we don't operate on policy.
I see no real men who are prepared, literally, to defend and echo their vision for the country in a debate form. But you realize one more thing. You realize that all these goons have to do, and the goons that we have in power, right? All these goons have to do is show up no resume in hand, no policy position, show up and align themselves with a color that represents a party. And that's it.
To get elected.
That is the job. I've been on multiple interviews over the course of my life. I've had to return to these interviews, circle interviews, over and over and over to qualify my, I mean, literally to the point of mental fatigue for a job.
You got time.
Huh?
I mean,
Yeah. and all we have to do is have our people just show up, and by virtue of their association, they're elected.
Yeah, yeah. Chrissy.
my whole thing is this, right?
So I can't vote for them.
And I'm trying to really be optimistic here, right? First, to get to your question about people not voting. Yes, you have the right to do whatever you want to do. We live in a world where there's free will, and every person is entitled to their opinion. If you don't want to vote, then fine. But it is very difficult if you don't vote and then you want to bitch and moan about the democracy that we have. There's a current saying that says democracy may be a cheesy choice as far as electing a government, but it's the best one we have. I'm not going to bash anybody, but in the Trump case, I will admit I've been very unkind to people who look like me who voted for Trump. Because unlike, say, what we have here with Hubert Menace, Perry Christie, well, that's if it stays like that. You can't compare apples to dog nanny.
Man, Chrissy, tell us how you really.
Who was the apples and who was the
Well, we all know who the dog shit is.
Or is it a smoothie?
Hello, they need a smoothie. But the thing is,
who
right?
the apples?
You can't figure it out. While I don't like to bash people for not voting, I know for me it's important. My grandmother marched in the road. Many people marched in the road for our right to vote, especially black folk who historically throughout the world have been disenfranchised. Okay, let's not. What I hate about what we do when elections are finished, we like to try and rewrite history. We like to practice revisionist history. And then that does none of us any good, because I think the way we start healing our issues is we admit the fact that some really jacked up things have happened. Okay, so if you don't want to vote, good. That's good for you. That's your business. But it is hard for you to sit there and still bitch and whine about how things are going if you do not vote.
Now, can I challenge Chrissy?
I'll
Go
challenge
right
you, because
ahead.
I have a challenge for that.
Why? I'm wondering why.
Here's the thing, and this is what I'm going to get to.
Go right ahead.
I completely disagree with that notion, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
and
do as well.
And that, look, like I say, that's your rights.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. In the Constitution, right? Freedom of speech, right?
Well,
Does that say you only could say what you want or complain if you vote?
well, is there freedom of speech?
Where's the premise in that?
Exactly. So
Is there freedom of speech?
every citizen has the right to complain no matter what, whether they vote, whether they ain't vote. I hate this thing where, oh, if you ain't vote, you ain't got no voice. Or you ain't vote, you can't say nothing. That is the
Not
most...
you can't, but it is difficult.
No, but
you,
How
come
is it
off,
difficult?
you come off as duplicitous because
How?
you're not helping to contribute to
But
the
what if there's
situation
no help,
to fix
though?
it.
But what if there's
Exactly.
no help?
There's always, guess what? There's always...
The better of two evils?
Well, in the words
Same
of
side of
Aaron
every
Ferguson,
coin.
there is no lesser in evil. Okay? But at
Evil
the
is
same
evil.
time, I still believe that you have to take part. We are members of a participatory democracy. If you don't participate, I think it puts you to a disadvantage.
I don't think so.
How, Chrissy?
Because if you don't want to help to fix things, how you could be whining
But
and
Who
how-
says
complaining
that's
about it?
the fix?
If I've got two evils,
It's the best that we got.
if I've got two evils, dark and a little darker, or white and a little whiter, right?
I was just about to say white evil, it's got to be done.
the association, yeah?
We just elected white evil on Tuesday last week.
Colonialists. But anyway, if in my head neither of them resonate, like I said, with me on a internal spiritual level, why must I? Why are you? In fact, dictatorship says what you're saying, that I must elect one if I am to even wage a critique after
The
election.
key word in participatory democracy is participatory. You have to participate.
Yeah, but that isn't only through voting, though.
How can I? How many ways have
That's
I
the
helped
way
this?
how we participate.
Yeah,
How many
that's-
ways have I helped this community without having to vote?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I still
I
maintain
don't intend to
the
vote this
persons
election.
who, the
I still
persons
intend
that
to
you
be.
and I have had a big argument about this in your inbox.
Yeah.
Okay, the persons who run the country are given the mandate through voting. So how else do we make a change?
But if
The
you
ballot
if you
box
have
is where you
if
make
the
change.
both sides of the same
I
coin are
still
pretty
disagree.
much the same,
Okay.
then what am I doing? What
But
am I doing?
There's truly some candidate that speaks to you on some level.
No, what if there is
Under which guys though?
What if there
Under which guys, Chrissy?
that don't necessarily.
Again.
I
That
don't
don't
even
necessarily
team up
mean-
on
see,
you,
that's,
but-
and that's where
No,
we
you're
are.
not. I just don't understand whinging about something and then you don't participate in it.
You know what participation is to me,
Tell me.
and it's doing something outside of voting.
Okay.
That's participating.
And there are ways
you
to do
can't-
that.
I don't agree with showing up to vote, voting, and then that's the end of it.
No, it isn't. No one says that.
Because that's how we got
But
where
that's
we
what
are
we
now.
do.
It is participatory.
But that's what we do.
But that's what we do. But see, but the people think that participation is only going to vote.
No.
That's
well,
not
those
where it
people-
should end.
Well, they clueless.
You
No.
you elect these persons, and you are supposed to make sure hold them to whatever it is that they said they were going to do in order to get elected. You are supposed to make sure they do that throughout their entire
Yes.
time in office.
But it starts with you electing the persons who are going to be your legislators.
Can I ask you guys something? Because I hear both of y'all talk. And
By the way, your shape up is nice.
wonderful.
I'm staring in his
Immaculate, isn't
mouth.
it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Bless you. You can kiss me after the show.
It's almost like you drew it on.
Yeah, not like the other guy though.
The other MP?
No.
With the sofa suit?
No, man, hold on. Hey!
Sorry.
No, this,
Super petty.
this real stuff. This Rocco beard. Anyway, you caused me lost right over
My work here is done.
Oh yeah,
Right off.
you got me good.
Yeah, but that's I don't agree with that.
You know, you all speak and we speak.
I still might say it.
We speak as if these people have ultimate control. It appears that once we usher them in, then we are helpless in our own futures. That's what I'm getting.
Because you don't continue from the voting, from the ballot box, you then have to do the work in
But
your
by
communities.
voting, what are you doing? I mean, let's just look at who currently serves.
I
By
agree.
voting, you empower these folk, right? You empower these folk. And in my mind, Peter's not better than Paul. I used to hear that, and it used to annoy me because they used to say, "No, man, the F&M, no, man, the F&M is less corrupt."
There are differences.
There are differences. I think large in part, the big difference between both is one is a little more flagrant in their corruption than the other. The other has a little is a little cleaner, right? But same system, same
Gentler
manipulation.
corruption.
Pardon me?
Gentler corruption.
Yeah. But it still exists.
I think they go. I think there are vehicles that are going in the same direction, just at different speeds, and they may take a couple turns through a juk on here or there. But at the end of the day, their destination is the same. That's how I feel about the two parties. Like they both going in the same direction, just at different speeds.
We agree. However, the way our system is run, we have the legislative that we elect, and they're the ones who run the country. If you do not elect the legislative, how do you expect your voice to be heard?
It's so funny.
I just don't get it.
I'm getting right as we speak. I'm getting a text, and I'm not. Unfortunately, it's not sexting.
What does it
it's
say?
texting.
It's not
It says
sexting.
that
Let me
I'm
say.
not
I'm gonna let you.
Sexting.
Okay.
So basically, it says this speaks to. Let me be politically correct because I'm not sure if this.
Man, you ain't got to be politically correct.
I'm not
man.
sure. I'm not sure if this is correct
It's a podcast.
information.
This ain't the
It's a
politically correct show.
podcast.
It says, is it true? The question is it true that NEMA cars, since the hurricane, are being refueled at a family member of Minnis gas station?
Really?
So, whether it's true or not, the dump trucks that are part of the cleanup, half of which belong to the sitting MP. I mean, whether or not the people who paint government buildings are associated with Gibson. My whole thing is, at the end of the day, man, these stories are continuous, and they've gone on and
Since
on
1973.
and on. And in my head,
Actually,
there's
before
been
that.
not a change. One thing I could say that I actually agree with Donald Trump on, believe it or not. And, of course, his presentation always discounts what he has to say, the essence of what he has to say. But he looked right at Hillary during the debate, and he said, you've been there for 30 years.
Okay, so how is Hillary supposed to, and this is what I never understood about Trump, and believe me, I don't hold any flags and fans for the Clinton family.
Right.
But when I was First Lady, how am I supposed to enact change? 30 years, he's
But you know what he
marking
spoke
our
to?
time differently.
You know, well, that's fine. That's fine. But you know what he spoke
Donald
to?
is an absolute liar.
No, we know that. He's crap, like I said initially. But what I'm saying, you really are the face of nothing that changes. I remember
Establishment politics.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Well, we
and
got
that's,
that here too.
and that's what is here. And you know, I see a Trump here.
Only one?
No, several.
Oh.
I see several misogynists. I see several misogynists.
Oh, well, the Bahamas is very misogynist.
I see several homophobes. I see
several. You ain't got to be nice, man. There's plenty of them.
No, I see several bullies. I see several people who ask you who you're voting for, who your people is before they gave one form to fill out before election. I see that.
Yeah, we still do that.
It's the same thing all around. I remember as a young reporter at The Guardian, I actually worked at The Guardian. Just fresh out of Queen's College.
Haven't we all?
Fresh out of Queen's College. I think Robin Adderley and Monique Adderley were in Clunas, were reporters then. I looked up to them. Derek was still there. And I had to cover a story in Tall Pines. And there was some flooding, severe flooding in the area.
Oh,
I went there.
That was news?
It was my first job. It was news back then.
Okay.
Yeah, first job. And so I jumped in the car with Derek and we drove down to Tall Pines and I interviewed one or two people with my big larger-than-life microphone, whatever. I was so excited in my job, I actually rolled up my pants leg, took off my shoes. I was a reporter.
What?
Yeah, man. Jumped back in the car, got back to the station. And I typed up a wonderful report. I'm going to have to look for that one day.
Yeah, I want to see
And
that.
the report details just what I saw and you know, the residents' concern, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, I got a call within minutes of print. I want to talk to that reporter, that Pratt fella.
Doesn't surprise me.
So
that still happens, by the way.
So I pick up the phone. So Chris, I forgot his name. Chris somebody at the time. He was pretty much at the head desk. He put me onto the call, and I got a blasting from an MP who I'd never heard about before. Why didn't you say I was there? Why didn't you mention that I was there? And my question was, who are you? 18 years old. 18 years old, you know, fledgling report. I said, who are you? I pretty much knew who I saw. I walked from house to house. I only saw these people. I am the MP for that area. I'm the MP for that area, and you didn't include that I was there. And I said, but you weren't. You were not there.
Oh, they still do that.
When you prepare your next report, and if it happens to be in my area, you need to detail that I was there. And I said, does that mean whether you were there or not? Yes, that is. I will not forget that.
Does that make sense to you?
That was 30 years ago.
Does that make sense to you?
And I will not forget it. And I see the same thing playing out again.
Well, it still happens.
But what I'm saying, said, Minister, is still there.
Well, if the Bahamian people are that afraid of who governs them, then we're going to continue to run around in this muck and mire. So
but here's
enjoy
the thing.
it.
See that, and that's my issue. Is that we feel like voting is going to change that.
Well,
voting doesn't, because how many times have we
doesn't.
voted since?
Voting alone does it, but like you said, people make the mistake of believing that I vote on election day and then that's it. Your civic duty is more than just, you know, sticking your hand in that purple ink or marking that X or whatever the hell you do. Your civic duty is continuous.
But what is the culture embrace?
Participatory democracy.
What does the culture embrace? Other voting cultures, what do they embrace?
Well, the culture, the thing is, the Bahamian electorate has been so used to being coddled and being taken care of like you still on the plantation that we don't realize that our participatory democracy is for us to participate in.
So when we hear, yeah, but because that's how we've been conditioned.
Right. We'll snap out of it because it ain't working for
well,
you.
Well, when are people going to get that, though?
I don't understand.
When are people going to get that?
And that's the problem. See, we focus on the wrong things. Here's what I feel the problem.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. The problem is, voting isn't the issue. The issue is who we're voting for. The candidates are the issue. We don't have the right people running for office.
Well, of course.
Well, how do they don't just drop out of the sky, though, Gregory?
Right. The
What do you
party
mean?
machinery
Decides
who's going to run
these
for
candidates don't just drop out
offices.
of, oh, shoot, man. Don't
But
just,
You all right?
yeah,
But
don't just drop out of the sky.
But we do have, especially in this election, we have a number of independent candidates. Well, they suck up one of them to put in the machinery, the young one. I was so upset when I see that. But anyhow, we have.
You tell me there's a podcast, you need to call names too then.
Yeah, well, I can't remember his name. The 21-year-old from Baintown.
Oh, so what? He was independent?
He was independent.
Robinson.
And the FNM go on there, they say, you know what, let's try use this fella for the young votes and let's suck him in. And he finished in my mind. But we have a number of independent candidates. Like for me, the only reason I'm voting, well, I was going to vote anyway. If Tennille wasn't in my running for my constituency, I was going to pay my $400 and go vote for myself. But outside of that, I would
need that 400. Thanks.
Yeah, outside of that, I would not have voted. I would not have voted if it wasn't for Tennille running in my area.
Tennille is actually Tennille. What I see happening with Tennille is what should be happening if every minister, and I told Tennille this, and acted what I see coming from Tennille, which is more than show and pop and pageant. This girl is actually managing. She's actually managing, man.
Well, independents have to do that.
Well,
this is
They don't have the party machinery.
So we have to work,
right?
exactly. So we could work around. There's a work around the party machinery. But the thing is, the populace, the Bahamian populace, is so used to it. And also the media continues to beat into the population's heads that you only got these two options. You got this or you got this. And not just here, but in the United States.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Gary Johnson represents that, and so does
I heard
so does Jill Stein.
And I heard
Jill Stein, as if that were viable.
Well, that's the issue.
But what I'm saying,
so
she should show up though.
Well, okay. She say if Jill Stein was viable, who was the president again?
Donald Trump. Is he viable? Exactly my point.
Party machinery.
Exactly my point.
Party machinery.
No, it ain't just party, because it's the media. The media likes to deflect the control they have over people's minds.
And influence as well.
Exactly.
And
But
influence
they
as
like
well.
to deflect.
Yes,
The
but
media
are
has
you a mindless
great
zombie, or are you a thinking?
Yes, people are mindless zombies.
That's what they are.
Chrissy. That's what they are.
Who need
Come
to
on.
be educated.
How else can Donald Trump get elected? You have to have
No,
mindless
Donald Trump
zombies.
dealt with, but guess what? Race is a very big issue in America. Donald Trump spoke to the fear of white people. That's why he got elected.
Yes, but those are not the only people that voted for Donald Trump. You
I
had
agree.
very many
You had 18%,
educated.
18% black folk voted, I think.
When you had
No, 18% Jews.
Uh-huh.
How'd it go? I was surprised that minorities.
Yes,
Well,
that's what I'm
49 people, 49 out of 100 didn't vote.
Yes.
26 did for Hills, and whatever the remaining amount did for Donald. It is a pie. It is a not even a pie. Yes, it's a pie chart in half, and the only two considerations are two quadrants of the pie chart, and we're looking at who actually voted. 118 million people registered in the U.S. and didn't vote. Last cycle, I think it was 17,000 here that didn't vote.
And let's
Well, that was in the referendum thingy.
No. This was the
You mean in
election. proper.
2012?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's
Okay.
speak to that apathy, because that's a large number you said in the U.S.
Voter
that didn't
apathy is
vote,
real.
and it's happening here as well.
But it's not just apathy, Greg, okay? And especially in the U.S., and I got to speak to this for a moment here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? There are many mechanisms in place that seek to disenfranchise the black and brown vote. You saw what happened in North Carolina, okay? So let's not say it's just vote apathy.
No, I'm not saying it's
They
only
make it
that.
damn hard for
Yeah.
people of color to get to those precincts, to stand on them long lines, to show ID. You know, everybody ain't got ID.
Chrissy.
I'm sorry,
If
America.
that is Chrissy, if that is
America?
no. If that is a problem within the black and brown community, how the hell you walk around and then you ain't got no ID? Now help me with
Again,
that.
I don't understand it either.
And
but
you
I'm
got
just
4
saying,
years. You got 4 years to get this ID,
It
Gregory.
speaks
I
back,
agree.
it
I agree
speaks-
with you,
it
So what I'm
speaks
saying is, if
back
that is
to-
a vulnerability,
That ain't a good excuse.
No, sir.
No,
That's not a good
If that is a
I'm
vulnerability
just
by
saying
which
that
you
these are
screw
all
these people,
items
that's what it is.
that people talk about. The fact that making voting should be easy to do.
Oh, I agree.
Not
Make it
difficult.
easy.
I
Make
agree.
it easy.
Not in
I
America.
agree, but then I don't think you should still use that as a reason.
It's not
or
an excuse.
And my thing is, if you are,
I'm just saying it's not just apathy.
No, I'm
there
not
are many
saying-
other Tuesdays. Everybody. Sometimes people can't get off on Tuesday and go vote. There are many things that happen.
Listen.
I'm telling you. Look
No, I
at-
agree. But here's the
we
thing. I'm
sit
not
on
saying
our
it's one
perch
thing.
of middle class privilege,
No.
and we don't understand the struggle of people who are digging daily for an existence.
I can tell you one thing. Plenty poor white people going there and going through the exact
Does
same
Donald Trump tell
process
them?
Oh,
and
yeah.
register.
Donald
so
Trump said-
if you have a lot of poor white
Now, you
people
know
that
white
go
folk-
through the process and
That's
register,
right.
don't give me no
The key
excuses.
word was white, though. White folk are treated
I-
differently in America.
I don't listen. What's different in terms of registering to vote for them?
yeah.
You
What's the
remember
difference
back
between black
in
and
the
white?
day,
What's the
they-
difference?
They make it difficult. Precincts are far away. Okay, look at
But
what
you
in
don't
North
think-
Carolina
you don't think
is a
precincts
study
are far away from
of
some white people?
disenfranchisement. Well, again, when you speak into race baiting and telling people, you know, you can call people nigger in the road, they can go and vote because they waiting to do that again. Next, we'll have nigger hunting license, I guess.
Yeah, but those excuses just aren't.
It's not an excuse.
No, they're
It's not an
excuses.
excuse.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Excuses.
Gregory.
They ain't gonna.
It's telling
agree
you
with
you. My
how
thing is-
people feel.
But and that's the thing. If you felt so strongly about voting, if you felt that there was a candidate that could actually change things in your life, I don't care how long the line is, how much time you got to take off of work, you can do that. But it's just that people aren't motivated
But it's
to
not,
go
it's
through
not why
that.
people vote. That
Just
because
in
are people
Oskaloosa
voting
County,
because
I
they're attributing their success and well-being
Of course.
to voted
Of
in
course,
men, in
yes,
women?
and that's the
Is
issue.
that what we think?
That's what we
Is
do.
that why we run behind blue license plates the way we do?
Yes.
Huh?
Okay, because why else would
Wow.
there be such outrage for Donald Trump being elected? People
Greg, because
actually
Donald
feel.
Trump
Because
is a
this
racist
man
and a bigot.
because this man
He's
is influential.
subhuman.
Hold on.
Greg?
And George Bush isn't?
George Bush ain't as bad as Donald Trump.
Really?
Degrees, but the degrees though.
Come on, Greg.
But the
He's not
degrees,
as
though.
overt. You
Greg,
understand? He's not
We all know
outright with it.
the little racist is inside every white person.
That's
Sorry.
no, in every person.
In every person.
Every
No,
person,
every
not
white
just white
person.
person. Every person.
In every
White
person.
privilege is real. And see, this is when y'all skew me when y'all talk about this fact that y'all act like black people and people of color, brown people have not been just denigrated for years.
No, I get that.
What world
Chrissy.
y'all live in,
Okay,
though?
Chrissy, here's
So you don't think black people? You don't think black people are a little prejudiced too?
Black people can be
No,
prejudiced.
no.
Are black Bahamians any at all prejudiced as well?
No, people are prejudiced.
No, don't ask that, Craig. Don't
Everybody has
ask that. She
prejudices.
got admit that. Don't ask that. Ask her if black people racist.
You and I
Black
did a
people
whole show
racist,
on this.
Chrissy?
Ask her.
Black people cannot be racist because racism comes from a power construct. I am so fucking tired. I mean, excuse me, of saying this to you people.
But
Seriously,
Chrissy,
I'm tired.
And I said this on the last episode. Let me tell you what not just Bahamians, but we live
Greg
in the
and I did a
Bahamas.
whole show on this.
Oh, that's fine.
we fight, but that's the whole show. Let me tell you what Bahamians like to do, right? Y'all like to redefine words to suit your narrative and
That's
what
not
it is
Bahamian people.
y'all
That's
These are
believe.
religious people.
You
These are-
change
these
the
are-
definition.
These are people under the Christian.
Now, how
under the
religion
Christian
get in
umbrella.
it?
Oh, in a big way.
You can look up the
Because-
definition of racist. Look up the definition of racist.
Greg, you and I have had
And
this discussion.
anybody can be a racist. I don't care what color you are,
Yes.
how tall you
Okay,
are,
of
course.
what background you come from, how much money you
Google
got.
racist, Greg.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Google
I did this
racist.
for she don't accept it.
Yes,
Google
sir.
racist.
She's not gonna accept it.
The power base needed to enact racist policies is
You're
something
talking
that
about-
black people don't have that.
You're talking about
Can you still find this
institutionalized
technically?
racism. That's what you're talking about. Can I
Today
go
we're
on?
talking about voting. I will never change that. Black people can't be racist.
Okay.
Yes, they
So
can.
what can black people be?
Prejudice.
That is, and here's the thing, and this is what I told them.
Know the difference.
Here's the thing. Prejudice is the umbrella.
I
Yeah.
had the video from
Prejudice.
Thanks.
Prejudice is the umbrella, right?
Uh-huh.
All these things fall under prejudice. Prejudice is a prejudgment
Right.
made on certain circumstances.
Certain
and
criteria.
based on those circumstances determines what it is. So,
Right.
prejudice, and then you got under that, racist,
Right.
which is when you prejudge somebody
Misa-
based on their race.
Misogyny.
Sexist
Right.
is when you prejudge someone based on their sex.
Ageism.
Ageism is when you prejudge someone
Yeah.
based on their age. All of these fall.
Social class judgment
Yes.
as well.
Classism is when
Classism.
you judge somebody based on their class.
Classism.
Yes, so all of these things are prejudices. They fall under the word prejudice. You understand? And everyone is capable of being any of those, things because everyone is capable of prejudging. That's what I was trying to explain to Christy, but she just won't accept it. She don't want to accept
Okay,
it.
let me
So
say,
do you subscribe
for
to
the
that?
people in the cheap seats, black people cannot be racist.
It doesn't look good.
Well, unlock it.
It looks
Thank you.
it looks a little different, but it's the same.
It's the
big
same
between
thing.
Anyway,
That's the
we're
same
talking
thing.
about voter apathy.
them. Yeah.
Let's go back to voter
Yeah,
apathy.
because I was
Yeah.
saying, like you said, it was a number of people that didn't in the U.S. And if you look at the numbers here,
Right.
we have, I think, last I heard, it was about 40,000 people that are registered.
Yeah.
And
And
at
then
this
London.
point, last election, it was over 100,000 at this point.
Yes.
So it's like the same thing is happening here. People
Yeah.
are don't just seem not to be motivated.
But Gregory, why do you
or
think that is?
I think it's a number of things, you know. I think it's, for one, like in the U.S., people are just tired of the status quo and the way things have been. They are tired.
Hillary wasn't going to do
Not
much
the
more.
U.S. It happened in
Hillary-
Britain as well.
But everybody
It's
across the
happening all
world,
over the
Brexit,
world.
I mean, it's a world.
Hillary wasn't going to do much more for the brown people than was happening before. She
Well,
wasn't.
Hillary, the Clintons came into the race with their own mark of how they treated brown and black
the
people.
systems that incarcerate,
and that's the problem. Systems.
and the systems that incarcerate, say it,
Incarcerate. You said it.
incarcerate black folk and the majority brown folk. There's profit in that.
Yes. But that's just it. The U.S. has made the prison system profitable.
Even if yours is a towel manufacturing company, and you service one prison in the U.S., think about how.
No, I agree.
Okay,
It's
you get what I'm
just
saying?
like how war is for profit.
If you deliver water, if you deliver, there's profit in that.
No,
If you
we
make
live
the
in a
caps
greedy
to go on
world.
top. So what I'm saying that there's money. There's money in that.
So
And
human lives. It's all about the dollar.
Certainly.
And these are the people that run the world.
And they run the world.
This is what I'm saying.
America's going to rule the day and regret the hour. Then it picked a racist, misogynist bigot for a president.
With a
Well, I
trophy wife
think-
who's a soft porn star.
And that's just it.
He's
Michelle
not the first.
Obama couldn't wear short sleeves, but Melania could show her cunny on the rug.
Ooh, tell us how you really feel
And
about
it's
that.
okay.
And
Wait,
I-
what am I missing?
Human beings are hypocrites, Chrissy.
somebody defriended me today because I spoke to that. I'm like, give me Melania Trump's. When Melania invites schoolgirls to the White House lawn for
Do the
high
Melania
tea.
accent.
Huh?
Do the Melania
Well,
accent.
Come on,
Come on, do it. Do it.
This is
Come on, do it. Donald.
Say Donald.
my Donald and I love this country. We
You better leave Melania. You know
The second foreigner to be first lady.
The Trump's
hot.
ready now. You all better watch out.
Melania's
please.
hot now.
The Trump's ready.
She's hot.
No one is saying that, but you
She's
can't. My
mainstream
thing
hot.
is this: there is a standard for living. If you want to show your pudenda to the world, then that's good for you.
What is a pudenda?
Pudenda, look it up, Google it.
Crabby.
Okay? You can say crabby on this broadcast.
You can say whatever
What?
you say. You not curse couple times, you know.
I only curse once.
Yeah, this ain't the whole place where you
I
been.
know.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Oh, I can't wait.
You can say whatever you want to
My
say.
thing is
right here,
this.
buddy.
It is so unfair that Melania Trump is not held to the same standard that they hold other first ladies to. Okay? I'm sorry. You cannot be a soft porn star and think that people are not going to talk about you.
Oh no, I got torn up on Facebook
Oh yeah,
for
people are
that.
talking about slut shaming.
Oh,
First of all,
tell me,
most
what is
people-
slut shaming?
First, people don't know what slut shaming is.
What is
first of
slut
all.
shaming?
Okay, if you were a slut and you are now in a high office that demands, we have it locally here. We have former sluts in this country who are now in high office.
Man,
Like
you know
who?
When you
something.
bring it up,
Man.
Like who?
people don't like when you bring it up.
You sure?
I'm positive.
You sure about that?
I wasn't there. I wasn't on the bed. So the thing is, if you don't want your past to haunt you, then don't be a slut.
Don't present yourself. It's as simple as that.
You
But
know?
you think she ever thought that she was going to be in a position?
It doesn't
to be first
matter.
lady?
But you have to
doesn't
think about
matter.
all this stuff.
No, I agree. That's why.
You
That's
have
why
to live your
conduct
life
myself.
in
There's a
certain
reason. There's a
way.
reason I'm running for office. It will
Really?
never.
You have naked pictures?
I'm just saying.
Hold on, send them to me. What's that?
You've seen everything you need to
This
see.
is
with
true, I
this
have.
movie. Yeah, you have. Me and you ain't got
All
none
I'm
of them kind
saying
of
is that
secret between us.
There ought to be, and I make a joke. I used to always make a joke that standard in the Bahamas is, is what you drink instead of what you live.
Standard is a
Greg
name.
too young. There was a rum called Standard back in
Yeah,
the day.
Yeah. Ain't no about that.
So yeah, Greg Young, please. The Bahamas is way older than Greg. Okay,
Thanks,
but
buddy.
I'm just saying that there's a certain standard. If you're seeking it now, of course, because she's the wife, she's just following her husband into whatever. But you cannot look at Melania Trump seriously and think first lady material. I'm sorry. I know
But what
it
I'm
sounds
saying, well,
awful.
her topic lists is skinny because what is she gonna say to girls? That little black girl you saw crying when she found out Donald Trump won, that's making the viral rounds now. That was genuine.
Of course.
Body language.
What is she crying for?
She
Black and
said,
brown
and you know
people
what?
are
You know
afraid.
what? You
What's
know
she
what her
crying for?
explanation was?
What's that?
He's mean.
Do you hear the words
I
the man
wanted
has said?
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
That's
First
what
of all,
he
we
said.
all live in the hood.
Right.
There's my
I've heard worse.
African American.
Yeah,
worse.
that's what he says. Stuff like that, and people want to actually take me up, but consistent with, and Chrissy can say, "Oh Lord," again, but consistent with what this whole notion, this whole Eurocentric notion that a white man shall save us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because-
consistent with the Donald Trump.
But the white man can't understand
and
that the world is changing.
standards are different. Well, he's president of the
And
US now.
but let's talk about that. The standards, like, because you mentioned, you can't see how Melania, all of that stuff. But human beings are hypocrites. I don't know when we
Yeah.
can get this.
We are.
but human beings are hypocrites.
But you have to dampen down your hypocrisy.
Why?
You can't be, okay, it's like Melania again.
Uh-huh.
Your platform is going to be bullying. but you are fucking the biggest bully in the world.
Right.
Well, if they're still having sex, but anyway.
Right. If they've ever, well,
Trump
they
said
have.
there's not a problem.
Yeah,
it's
right.
not a problem.
Yeah, and my hands are big, so is my penis.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
And I hate that finger.
It's not a problem.
That's a
I
racist.
guarantee
That's a
it,
racist finger.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway. I tell you.
But that's the thing. We are hypocrites as human beings, right? And even in this country, because
Oh, definitely.
look at it. I hear people speak about Granville McCartney, right? They're like, oh, he in his time young, he arrogant. But
Oh, they like to call you arrogant
Yeah, they
now.
say he's arrogant. But some of those same people would probably support a Leslie Miller, who got up in the House of Assembly and brag about beating his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Leslie Miller,
that's okay.
Leslie Miller is our Trump, and
I say he
assure
wasted
you,
Trump.
But that's
I
okay.
assure
He
you,
was.
Gregory,
No.
and I don't know the
He
man,
was.
nothing personal. I'm only going by what his public.
What is Leslie a power
The
over?
same thing with Trump.
Let
Leslie
me
a
tell
power
you.
over what?
No,
Paint
but
and
the power
toilets.
don't matter.
Gregory and Christina, I'm telling you today, if Leslie Miller somehow
Anyone be
ran
prime
for
minister?
prime minister, he would get that
I think so.
overwhelmingly.
So basically, to
Leave
run
the pot cake
the
alone.
country, you have to be an asshole.
Well, I'm just saying when
Has
you
that not
appeal,
been proven to you thus far?
when you appeal to
Well,
when you appeal
last
to
Tuesday it was proven.
when you appeal to the less angels of folk, you
Yeah.
actually make them comfortable with that.
When you appeal to the emotions
Yes.
of people,
Yes.
the strongest emotions
Yes.
that they have.
It's fair.
All you got to do is feel, cater to their emotions.
Yeah.
Because people are emotional and they vote on emotion. It's not logic, it's not thinking. We act on emotion. That's the problem.
I hope all you white boys get a job building the wall.
That's exactly what I said.
Since all of you are out of work because of educated black and brown people. Yeah, it's our fault that
Yeah.
you are out of work. And fix your teeth while you're at it.
Oh,
How about that?
Well, let's talk.
Big corn seed, hayseed.
Well, let's talk about us here. And
Yeah, let's
staying-
talk about Bahamians.
Yes, and staying on that. And you were speaking to policies and stuff earlier. We don't vote on policies, guys.
What are
We
our
just vote
policies,
on-
Gregory?
Exactly.
What
we,
are our
We
policies?
don't vote on policy. We vote on personalities.
What policy do we have now?
This is what I'm saying. That's the issue.
A
We
study
don't.
was done, Gregory, with John Kerry, who I thought would have made an excellent president.
Pregnant.
President. I'm thinking Melania now. No, would have made an
You think she'll have a
excellent
baby in the
president.
White House?
Perhaps not. This is not my goal in this White House. No, but no, seriously.
Kerry?
John Kerry would have made a really good president, eh? He had a strong wife, Theresa Hines, and of course he came from source. And a study was done. As much sense as Kerry was making on the trail, and as much babbling as Bush was doing. This is in the heart of the campaign now. Good grief, my head.
Donald Trump.
The
on
polls were done across states, interstates. Who would you rather have a bear with? Folks said George Bush, overwhelmingly. Then who would you rather choose for president? George Bush. So this whole comfort level, this whole personality level, and whatnot, is what takes people to the other to the other place. Even look at our most popular pastors here.
Oh, please,
Oh,
must
boy.
we?
Look at our most popular pastors.
Damn.
If you can preach against a demographic or a sector of society that doesn't involve the masses that sit before you and contribute that 10%. And if you could just destroy these people and the whole deflection dynamic comes into place, you are the most popular. I passed a particular church out east today, and let me tell you, I was shocked at the cost.
What,
And
Zion?
I understand there's more than one session. More than one session.
Well, again, the fair church. Whenever you bring Christ in,
The other one,
you
Uncle
scare
Michael Road,
people.
same
Look at
thing.
the referendum.
Same thing.
And Bahamians are uber Christy.
Of course.
And in the words of my daddy, you
Hold on, maybe over Christy or over Bible-y?
uber
Not even,
Christy.
I can't even say over Bible-y
Okay,
because they don't even know the Bible.
they don't know the Bible.
Like I said, what do they? What I don't even know what they call
No,
it.
you
No
bring
better-
church
no
into
better
it.
than me.
Church was used to scare us as black people.
But it's a control
It
tactic.
still works.
It still
Yes.
does.
So
Very effective.
I'm not surprised that we act like that.
You know what
because it's deep
conversations
in our
used to sound
DNA.
like between me and my cousins?
What's that?
Yeah, let's stop that here. 'Cause, God could charge you. I
yes,
remember that.
yes.
I remember that.
Oh,
God
yeah.
could charge you.
I used to
was
say, how
huh?
much?
Yeah.
God could charge you.
I always yell because I learned that. See, remember now, I'm not growing up here. I learned a lot of my Bahamianness on visits, and when I moved here, and my cousins would say, "God can charge if you do something." I didn't understand what that meant.
Hey,
So
what
I
does
used to
that
say,
mean?
how much? What
So
does
you
that
know what
mean?
I thought? I was walking around every 10 seconds ensuring that I said that prayer to relieve me.
What's the prayer?
please forgive me of my sins, God. And when you come, I want to be in your kingdom. Because I thought somehow if the rapture happened in between my last sinful thought. No, I'm telling you.
How old were you
What do
thinking
you
like
mean?
this?
What do you mean? I'm a product of Nassau Christian Academy School. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Boy, that
jeez.
brainwashing go deep.
Huh?
Oh, deep, 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 deep.
Gregory,
That's
you
why I have a
understand what I'm
problem with
saying
it,
to you? So I thought that if the sky burst between my last nasty thought and that prayer, that I would be doomed to this place that was prepared for me.
Yes.
Because when it says I go to prepare a place, you is not only up, it's about this place that is set at the right
Eternal
temperature,
damnation.
set at the right temperature, and call you wailing and gnashing of
We
teeth.
live in an eternal damnation right now.
Yeah, and it's because of these things.
and
And
look
you
at-
said the brainwashing.
And there's evidence even in the way we wear our kids.
But it's religion plays a big role in it, but then it's a brainwashing of the media as well when it comes to elections. It's
Well,
a
the media-
brainwashing of
You
the
realize
media.
how little money Trump had to spend on media?
Free media.
They covered
Because
him
the more
straight
of an
through.
asshole you are, when you say things like Mexicans are rapists, I'm gonna go cover that.
Well, it was
It's like
entertaining.
here in our local elections. Every time Leslie Miller opened his mouth, the papers flocked to him.
Exactly.
I don't know why they
Exactly.
keep interviewing him and Bradley Roberts. Please, please,
but that's what,
anybody in the media.
this is what people like.
No,
but they
love
don't
that.
really say nothing.
They love that.
And
Of
I
course
think
they
it should be
don't.
old by now. I mean,
But
jeez.
Gregory,
My goodness.
if you patronize a particular restaurant out west, I know you ought to say it anyway, and I've been there at the bar, when either of these men walk in,
Oh yeah, it's like Jesus reads.
I was like, what?
The Messiah. But then again, Bahamian people have been programmed. Remember, Moses saved us. We've been programmed to look for
Who
the
saved us?
Messiah. Moses.
Where you live?
Well, he lives in St. Agnes Cemetery right now.
And I can't
The
take
big
it.
mausoleum.
I can't
I
take
know, I
it.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're always
Oh.
looking for the messianic savior.
Right.
But
And
that's
why
conditioning.
Bahamian people are in the shithole that they are in
And
now.
it goes to politics now because
Not
we
only
operate,
politics, back to our belief systems too.
Yeah, but I mean, with the topic we discussed,
apathy?
it goes back to that as well. Like they're waiting for this great Messiah to
To
come
part
and
the
save
ways,
them politically.
to part
and
it.
people feel as I think people put. I don't want to say too much into elections because elections are
Oh,
important.
Bahamians live for
it's
elections.
very important, but
Y'all light off, but you want to talk about who gonna win the PLP leadership race.
and I think we focus on the wrong things.
Well, because we've been programmed. This is some people. This their excitement. The next,
Yes.
the next couple months. This
Ooh.
is their excitement.
Yeah, man.
Getting ready for rallies
Oh, yeah.
and
But
getting
isn't
ready.
that sad?
Yeah, that is your life.
Yes.
And in the meantime, you here campaigning for these people, but
Well,
you
to whom you
shitting
describe-
outside in a clapboard box.
But to
for
whom
a
you
toilet.
but to whom you ascribe your power though? To me, that's even sadder.
Well, we've always been giving up our power.
that we stop at it.
But we always been doing that because
know-
we are programmed to feel we're docile, we're powerless, we have.
And I think
that's why
people,
participation is important.
But that's the thing. People feel like that's the only power they have is the power to
Sorry.
vote. And then once they do that, they are powerless until 5 years
Because
later.
that's what you were
they
told to do.
vote again.
Yes, but
Don't we
now
see the
you
cycle
still
playing
see
out
that?
between? Do we see the cycle playing out between Sunday and Saturday? Do my thing. The only time I have power is when I could throw myself in church for a couple hours, right?
No, you got to go to church.
Yeah, you gotta go. Just like you gotta vote.
God, if you don't go to
and
church.
then the rest of the week is ad lib.
Yeah.
It's the same cycle. Huh? It's the same cycle repeats itself.
Well, if we're content with that, then shame on us.
I am sure though. I am sure, and I would love to be a fly on the wall in many instances. I am sure our leaders get together.
But they do.
However they get together, I'm sure they get together.
do.
And they
And
sit
laugh at
there
us.
and wonderment.
Excuse me, I've been there. They get
And
together and
wonderment
laugh
as
at
to
us.
how foolish we are.
Yeah.
And to laugh at us. Literally laugh
Yeah,
at
well, they've
us.
been laughing at us.
I've seen it.
See, again,
I
I
tell you-
expected the colonialists and the people of the dominant culture. I expected
The
them.
dominant culture.
I expected them to ride me.
Who?
Yeah, the
No,
dominant.
not
Say
like
white
your
people,
own.
dino dominant
Not
culture.
like your own.
Dino
Yeah,
dominant
like
but
culture.
your
our own. That's what I'm saying. In 1973, and okay, I always tell y'all this. I was there on that field. I expected something different.
What color
What
was
did
the
you
jumpsuit?
expect
What
then?
color was the jumpsuit
I
again?
expected. I
What did you
wore
expect?
gold. I was gold in the flag.
Okay.
Well,
Tell
just
us
in-
what you expected.
I expected that independence dream that said everybody was going to get this square deal. That's what they called it.
What is the square deal?
The square deal. Well, in America, it was
Cheryl,
a
let me
chicken in
square
every
biz.
pot.
No, man, but what
the
was
square
that deal?
deal
'Cause I
was
wasn't
that
there.
you will own the land. You will own the benefits of the land. Everyone, not how it was before, where a select certain group did. But what we did, we changed, we transferred white economic control, or phenotypically white, because we know you're only really white. Okay?
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, child, they swear they are.
Whoa.
And
Not
we
that there's a
transfer
value in that.
Right,
but
exactly. But you know, but still, the world still favors light skin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reality. I don't know what world you're living in.
Yeah.
We change. We
You mean over
traded
this?
that. Yes, we do. We do. You go in the bank, and the Joneser, who was white, go in the bank. Who do you think they can serve first?
man.
Okay, but we traded that.
Are you
We
from here?
Yeah. Hello. My favorite.
grow up here?
Yeah, my favorite. Anyway.
You know, for a dark girl, you're attractive.
Yeah, I like that. For a black girl, you pretty.
For a black man, you handsome.
Or like the man tell me, you know, you speak well for. I was like, for what?
But Joe Biden told Barack Obama that.
That's scary.
Said that he's a credit to his race. I'm sorry.
But
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But I'm saying we basically
Get you back.
we gave away, we transferred that what we were living in, that oppressed kind of you know, we had no rights back then. I remember my grandmother telling me these stories, which still boggle my mind. But we traded that because we believed in this dream that our majority leaders were legislators were selling us. That whole square deal, 67, 73. We have now seen that that square deal only benefited some people. And now we see that the rest of us are left out in the cold. Any of you try to buy any land in this country recently?
I was just about to get to land.
Okay.
I was just about to get to land.
We don't own, and none of the benefits, very few of the benefits inure to us. Me and you want to build something. We can't get foreign funding unless we get turned down from banks here locally, which they do. You know, we traded one set of oppression.
They
for
give you
another.
they give you loan. They give you loan for vacation
the
and
people,
car though.
of course,
Yeah.
and fridge and stove.
And fridge and stove.
But the
Furniture
people who
loan,
oppress
not
us
land.
look like us because I don't want you to own anything. I don't want you to benefit from the fat of the land, and that is why the dream of independence has failed for us payment people. Okay.
But when you think we can realize?
I have
we've
no
been getting
clue. I don't know how swing. We've been getting grind.
Yes.
Okay, and with
No
a
lubrication.
limber
But
doggy.
what is
Okay,
No,
limber.
no, with limber. No, sir.
Limber. That's the worst kind because it's folding. Anyway, but when are we going to
Chrissy,
learn?
wash your mouth out.
It's the truth.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I don't understand what's it going to take because Bahamians just whinge, whine, carp, and moan and bitch, and then we still do nothing about it.
But let me tell you what I feel is going to take.
Yeah, please, because you predicted Trump winning on March the 16th.
Yes, I did because I don't live in a bubble.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Mostly, and that's just what I realized throughout, especially this election, is that a lot of people live in a bubble and don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Because the things I were hearing them say, I was like, really? Are we on the same planet? And this is like Hillary
must be living in a bubble
supporters.
too.
It was like they felt it was a cakewalk. But anyhow, here's what we need to do.
No, they couldn't have tanked that.
Trust me.
No.
Have you not heard? People thought it, but
Have you not heard the
Gregory,
pundits?
Can we
Gregory,
take a break?
can I appeal to?
This commercial break brought to you by Cookie Caterer, where cookies are king. Call
226524. Go ahead, Greg.
This is s'mores.
Gregory, I hear you, know, and I knew Trump would win either as well.
What?
No, I'm telling you, but but give folk like me some credit though, because I rode on a cloud of intense hope. that
Yeah,
I
you was
saw.
right. And I told you this
You
when
and
we
I spoke
Yeah,
about
I
this.
told you this when we
I knew
spoke.
Trump would win. You know how I knew Trump would win? Let me tell you how I knew Trump would win when the third state was called. You know how I know?
How?
You had a charismatic president, popular, who's enjoying good ratings.
But he's black.
Well, you have a charismatic president on the trail, right? Who has said, when he endorses Hillary, if you want to continue my legacy, big mistake, you would vote Hillary. More of the same. All Donald had to do is hear that and say, if you want more of the same, if you're still hurting,
Well, America was still mad at having a
that's
black
one.
president.
That's one. Two, you had a very charismatic first lady, who was on the trail as well. You had Bernie Sanders, who probably didn't do enough for Hillary.
Poor Bernie.
Poor Bernie.
Bernie
They
no,
sort of put
Hillary not a
No, and I
deadly squad.
Well,
I
they
agree
took
with
the
you.
election from Bernie.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
took it from
And
him.
if
Yeah,
I
they
was
took
him,
it from
I
him.
wasn't even endorsing. I
He
was
showed up about 3 times. He showed up about the,
I
you
was
got
very
you got
not-
rock star royalty. You got into what I'm saying. You had all of this behind you, and you were still neck and neck with this man.
Yes, you
I
still
knew-
used a lunatic.
I knew it. No. I'm talking about leading
Prior
up to
to
it, Gregory.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world Florida was supposed to be that close.
But here's the thing.
Florida's always been
When
a
I
red
saw
state.
Florida, I said that's it for
But
Clinton.
Florida's always been a red state.
Yeah,
Let
but
me-
it doesn't matter though. She
Okay.
had it.
But let me go back to what you asked. What do we do, right? Here's our issue in society.
Okay, let me hear this.
We are too divided as a society, and we are being divided even more and more as time passes over anything they could find to divide you over, they will. Because they recognize that our people together, they cannot rule over that. So they have to divide and conquer.
Right.
This is our issue. We are two against it. We end up fighting over each other. Mind you, we could want the same thing, you know. We could want the same things. We could want the same result. But because we don't agree on who it is that's going to bring that about or how they're going to do it, we start fighting over the small things that don't matter, and we get off track, and we end up working against each other. And that's what happens over and over and over again.
It's a 400-year-old job. That's the system of the plantation.
We are too divided.
What did our ancestors as owners? What did they use? What simple things did they use to
as simple as skin tone?
It's exactly it.
Skin tone.
When you survey black folk, period,
or age,
become in different. You know what? We'll do it, and it still happens. It's still present with us today. Skin tone.
Well, we have colorism in a black majority country.
Yes.
So we hear it. We hear it.
Of course we do.
Oh, did y'all get this text about the church being robbed?
No.
March on Bahama land.
No.
My whole thing is this. Come May 2017, or knowing Perry Christie, he has until, 90 days after the first sitting of Parliament? I used to remember how law worked. I really don't give a shite anymore. So we shall see if Bahama is going to continue to get harvest.
Yeah, but to which option though?
We will, because
is there a party that I haven't heard about? What are you talking about?
And that's what I'm saying. The options suck, and then the media.
You still have to participate in the democracy.
See, that's the bad combination.
I need to know who's going to screw us and who's not. Tell me, and then I'll vote for that person.
Well, in a day, you're going to get screwed.
So I'm not going to vote.
Exactly.
But that's how democracy is still. It's like the same thing within the U.S. Everybody voted, but 538 people decide based on the electoral college.
And this is why I have and this is the issue with democracy. And that's why I say democracy is flawed, because if you have
the best system we got.
It's an illusion. Is it the best?
I wouldn't say it's the best.
One man, one vote.
Here's the thing.
Although I have issues with that too.
And here's the thing: it's like we don't ever try anything else, because we are creatures of tradition, and we underestimate the power of tradition. Most people revert to what has been done and what continues to be done, and don't like to change things.
Yeah, we don't like change.
So we ain't even trying to reevaluate it. But I tried to explain democracy to someone before. Every election, you're going to have a large group that is going to be unhappy, and that's because, let's say we have 51 people that are meat eaters and 49 people that are vegan. All us got to decide what we eating tonight for dinner.
Adventists and the Baptists.
And if the meat eaters vote, if more of the meat eaters come out to vote, then the vegans got to eat that meat, and they ain't gonna be happy about that. But that's how democracy works. That's how democracy works. So you can't be upset, and I don't understand why people are protesting in the United States over Donald Trump. Hold on. Here's my thing.
Yeah, okay. I don't understand.
Here's the thing. I understand what they are protesting, but. And that's fine and dandy, but to what end? What are you protesting?
Right,
democracy?
You should have protested your ass to the polls.
Exactly. It's too late. He has been elected already.
No, man, Gregory.
So what are you? What are they protesting?
I mean, it's a.
Are you protesting democracy?
Well, they're hoping the electoral college will.
Have you protested before ever?
Many times. Yes.
Okay, and to what end?
Well, there's been progress on one of the Marcos law bills.
Have you directly linked that to your protest, sir?
If it is what?
Have you directly linked that to your protest?
Yes.
Well, agitation.
Yes. And it was Tennille did.
Agitation.
Tennille did, and is continuing to do the groundwork.
You know what I feel most people out there protesting for, and I mean, I've heard it, you've heard it in the interviews, the rhetoric that was used on the trail. This is a reminder, so that while you occupy this office, no matter how I vote or if I didn't vote, this is a reminder to you that we're not going to just sit on our asses.
But Americans don't do that.
What?
Americans will protest.
We will march to the Trump Tower, 100,000 of us, to remind you that there is still a voice and we're alive. I completely support those who continue to protest. It's not as
I support their right to protest.
I support their right
to protest. My thing is,
to what end? He knows though.
Okay,
it's got his attention.
Let me try.
Ass in check.
Just keep them in check. It's as simple as
much as I can.
Watch this, and maybe it's just me, but I could be honest with you. I don't think them people protesting can change whatever it is Donald Trump had in his head he was gonna do. I don't think it can do a squat. I could be wrong.
Why are we thinking that change has to be a direct outcome of protest?
Sorry.
It should be. Isn't that the point of protesting?
No, it's not. That's not the only point of it.
Well, it might not be immediate change, but it's gradual.
Yeah.
You do protest.
Point
it's
of
change.
direct, he didn't say immediate.
the point of protest in my head is to make a point.
Okay, that's one part of it, but you do want results.
Well, I mean, we all want
I think
results.
you should be making a point to at least the end.
Results-oriented protests.
At least working towards
And Gregory, I
it. If you're
agree
just
with
out there,
you.
if you're just out there just to be out there, I mean,
No, but you can't say that. By virtue of showing up, you have a cause. Here's my cause. Here's my cause. Global warming. I'm the only man in the middle of Boston Square. Global warming. Most BAME is into that. If what I'm saying, I'm just creating
Until
the
we
scenario.
melt under the sea.
So we're not thinking about that, but I'm the only one out there. You can't say that it's fruitless because the legislators walking into the House are not even addressing that at
And it's going to
cabinet.
get worse because Trump doesn't even believe in the climate issue.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things he
Jokes.
does not believe. He has to make good on those promises, or he's going to lose favor with that fringe pitchfork crew that he rallied.
Well, let's see. We'll have to see what happens.
That's
I
all
don't
you
know.
can do.
We'll have to
Let
see
her
what happens.
protest.
But there's
In
one.
the meantime, we have to register. I will admit,
What?
I haven't
For
registered
what?
yet. I haven't registered
For
yet.
what?
And that's the thing, and I want to address that because there's one person in particular. You probably don't know this person.
No,
you're
I've
into
seen-
you're into sports, right?
Coffee break.
No, I've seen.
Yeah, you're into sports, but
This coffee break brought to you by Cookie Caterer. Where the cookies are good.
Break
but
off piece of the
Stephen A.
chocolate
Smith.
one.
You know Stephen A. Smith?
No.
I know that name. Why
He's
do I
a
know
he's a
that name?
sports reporter. He's has a show on ESPN.
House.
Oh, okay.
Colin Kaepernick. We all familiar with Colin Kaepernick,
Yep.
and he apparently
Who didn't vote?
He didn't vote, and Stephen A. Smith basically jumped on him and went
Really?
on a long tangent, just degrading and just insulting him and saying everything he said
Come
means
on.
nothing.
You on your knee, you should have done something.
Hold on, I can get to that. And he said everything you did don't mean nothing. What you said don't mean nothing else. No way. So I'm like,
Okay. Well,
Stephen A. Smith, you ain't making no sense. And I respect him. I watch the show all the time. I'm a fan.
What's the show
But
called?
on that first take. But in this instance, I could not support that. Because, okay, so you're now telling me that the things that he was speaking out against and the things that he said are now
disqualified because he didn't walk in
disqualified
the
and
vote.
invalid
Because he didn't walk in the vote.
It's
That
not
is
disqualified.
ridiculous. No, but that's what he said. That's what Stephen A. Smith
Colin
said.
set him up.
That is ridiculous.
And I think he has such a beautiful afro. But anyway, he set himself up as this paragon of patriotism. I'm going to fight against this ill treatment of my people. Jesus, when you put yourself out there like that,
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
I think it is your duty to
Yeah,
take
but
part
here's the thing.
in the participatory democracy. Again, participatory.
But he said he doesn't
Why didn't
feel,
Colin vote?
Because he doesn't feel that any of those candidates represented the change that he wanted to see
Wow.
take place.
And isn't that honest?
That's
isn't
and,
that honest?
and that is
Thank you,
patriotism.
Colin.
Isn't that true?
But
Thank
that
you,
is
Colin.
patriotism.
Isn't it true?
That is exercising your right.
And so you know what it will
So
do?
Colin
When you
is
hear
one
that,
of the
when you
50%
hear that,
of
you know,
African Americans who didn't show up to the polls.
and,
And that's their right.
Does he consider himself African American?
and Gregory, you know
Yes.
what it says for the leaders? Field and elect better candidates.
Yes.
Next time.
Yes.
Simple as that.
And I for that.
If we keep, listen to me, if we keep voting between who represents, say, a South Beach representative now and another goal, if we keep
guarantee
fielding,
you.
if we keep fielding between goons,
Right.
the only thing that is in enabling them and making them strong is our participation
Exactly.
in the process.
Exactly.
If enough people don't vote the way I vote, it's going to be a wake-up call. Let's start with. Do you
If I would
realize?
vote, my grandmother would hag me.
Okay, well, let her argue.
I would
My
put
only
my
thing
nightdress
is,
on backwards.
do you realize do you realize a lot of these representatives, if they showed up in a Barbados, for instance, for candidacy, would get laughed off the stage in seconds.
I
Well,
could
a
believe
lot of
that.
our
The standard,
legislators are very
standard is so
ignorant.
lowered here.
Because we have brainwashed the
No,
public
because
to
we have
vote for
voted.
whoever.
Because we have voted.
And that's
them.
what I'm saying.
And you're making me choose one of them.
And that's what I'm saying. Because we
Everyone
and
has
this-
some sunshine.
But this is how idiots continue to be elected.
That's all it is.
When you
Excuse me.
brainwash your public to feel that they are obligated to vote no matter what, no matter who it is you put there.
Because
you have to vote for one of
The
these
vote
idiots.
is your voice.
If
It's
both of my
That's
parents,
such a
if both of my
voice.
parents are crappy,
disagree.
if both of my parents are crappy, and I got a good aunt or uncle out there, then let it be the aunt or the uncle.
Participatory.
Yeah, but that is not the voice. Now you hear the people say, "Oh, that's your voice," or "You ain't got no voice."
No.
Everyone, if you are a
No.
citizen of this country, you have a voice. Every single person has a voice. So you mean to tell me that the person that is not eligible to vote, a 17-year-old, doesn't have a voice?
No, we vote when we're adults.
Yeah, but he's a citizen. Does he not have a voice?
You're doing the false equivalency.
How is it a false equivalency?
Because, Greg, he's 17. You don't get to vote till you're 18. So that point is
You don't get to vote.
No,
Or that's what the legislators who you voted in determined.
Well, you're considered an adult.
But you could have sex.
You could have sex at 16.
Yeah.
You could grind at 16.
Exactly.
You can't vote at 17.
It's 16 here and 17 in the U.S. So
Okay.
obviously the legislators decided not to change that.
Yeah, but that's my thing. I have a problem with people bullying other people into voting.
Not
Just
bullying.
because listen, if you offering me a Sprite or Coke and I don't drink soda, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna take any of them because I don't want it. So if you put in front of me a loser and a bigger loser, I don't want neither. So I won't vote for any of these losers.
My good friend Darren Cash, when